How can you know what exactly that's all myself? Or let me see that again. I got to readjust my camera over here. Let me see how I can adjust my camera. I need to get something to drink in the kitchen. Give me a minute. Sorry that I'm a few minutes late. Why don't I just say the truth and sorry I'm a full 10 minutes late? Um, how can you know what exactly? That's all I myself ask for what you personally want to know. Just ask, and the answer might just come to you, sir. What's the question? What's the answer? How many answers are there for the question? How can you ask a question about something you don't know? So I begin with the simplest thing. I know the word question. I know the word question in English. I know how it's spelt. I know the word question in French. I know how it's spelt. I know now I'm going to go to grain because grain is a spelt, right? Grain is spelt. So that means it's already been spelt before. So I'm not the first one spelling it. Says that no one's here. So if the question is a word, we now have a geometric shape they call the question mark. Now the question mark, if I do it on square paper, right? Do the question mark on square paper. I want to know if it looks like that. Just give me 1 second. I want to know if the question mark looks like that. What else goes with it? Can we do this? Can we do this? Or does the J have to look like that? We need to understand area space and how many divisions of area space are there? Dot, 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 dot. One dot. But there are actually three dots that create this. There's two dots that create this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't create this without this. Can I create this smaller? Right? If I create the question mark this way, the question is, will there be an effect, a 3D effect to this? Or is the question mark just one part before it becomes mirrored? And I've been looking at a little artwork, and some of the artwork I've been looking at is Alex Gray and Allison Gray, and she has been painting different kinds of letters. I forget how they came to her, and I'm going to be mirroring her letters. I have to see. Do I see with my eyes? Is it the fish in the ocean that swim by the sea? What did I see, or what swam by me that I didn't see that one day I might see? Is it something that I did see? That means I saw it already. Can I see it again? Word endings, prefixes, the prefix and the suffix. Word add-on and ending. Word add-ons at the beginning of the word, begin, and at the end of the word. So all these things are telling, they're all tells, they're all telling stories. Horse and buggy, mirrors by the sea. By the sea, when I look at E and A and I ask myself this question in the alphabet, I can see. But if I go by the sea, what is the plural of sea? Or if I saw the sea, if I already saw the sea, then I saw the sea. Is there a plural, or is there a past tense for the sea without having saying I already saw the sea? What would be the commentary? Or let me do as they do in sports, the color commentary to every single word that I speak, so we can better understand the word, the letters in the word, how many letters in the word, the position in the alphabet in the word, what happens when I multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, where I find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Can I divide it or can I not divide it? And if I do divide it, what will it do and why am I dividing it? And if I don't divide it and I'm multiplying it, what does it do? And can I connect to other words that are multiplied and at a different level? Well, number 51 is divisible by 17 perfectly, or by 51, 17Q. They say Q is in one word. They say anon is another word. Anon. So when you write the word A-N-O-N, it's actually 1565. So it's telling me different realities. If it's one word and it's 4 letters, if I would be using it in decimal points, I would go, or in pennies, I would use 2 letters, then a dot, then I would go 3 letters and a comma. If I was using it in time, in minutes and seconds, I would put a double dot between the 2 numbers and the singular number or the double number, depending if it's going to go before or after AM or PM. And as well, in the AM, there is still 10 and 11 AM, as well as there is 12 AM. Now, if we're using it to the thousands without the pennies, every 3 numbers, after 3 numbers, we will put a comma. The fourth one will be in the next section, telling me that after 3, we are in the next section. When you turn Rubik's Cube, after 3, you're in the next side. When you have this, there are only 3 to a corner and 3 opposites. These are all the truthful realities that we use in our daily lives, routines, and games. And if we want to go into football, we know that in football it's a little bit different because the polarity of the football game is in the 3rd quarter, and the 4th quarter ends the game. 3 and 4 are played together, so it's a little bit different. With 3, the hockey game ends with 3, but it begins in the 1st period. I'm going to get something to drink in the kitchen. I'm going to read the rest of the comments up here, so we're going to work together. I know me and who I am, and don't appreciate some who want to tell me I'm something else. We're missing a few commas and stuff in there, but I more or less understand that in the word here, there's an I8, CI8. Okay, so that's part of a star system. The A before the T saying, where am I at? I am at E. When I look at AE, it's 21. 21 is a full formation of a cube. When you use the keyboard, you're sending messages via email, you always use the @ sign, and I say the @ sign as AT. You also can say, there's another wording for that @ sign, or the A, that special A letter. I have to learn what it is to take this to another level. When you say course, is it a race course for a race course, or a race car for a race course? Is it a discourse or is it a discord? Of course. Course. So now we can have coarse salt, but it's spelled C-O-A-R-S-E for coarse salt. Ending with E, knowing that the alphabet is split up. There's the A family, 1, but there's also the A sounding family, which is A and H. Notice that 1 and 8 come together, where 1 and 8 is within the void of 1 to where the 1 center dot, the 8 that surround it. I explain, so there's AH, there's also AJ, but J is already in the A family, and J is the invert. It is on the other side. It is a black DC number, direct current, black current. So there's A, there's H, there's also K. K is in the B family. So now A and B come together with sound in the B family. Even in French, you say ko. You're not saying eh. Eh would be in the EH, as a soft E shows up with H. So when the soft E's show up with H, knowing that the design of the H is also the same design as the I, but in the last, 10, 15, or 20 years on the keyboard, they don't show it. When I was growing up, the I had a bar on top and a bar on the bottom. So I'm working from the times of the 60s. Right now, we also, for myself, I like to work in the time 60s of 60s. From 1960 to 1969, and 60 years later is 2029. The cycle ends in 2030. that's when the cycle ends, and the IT system comes into where is the passage T20. The 20th letter is also in gematria noted to be number 7, and what is in between G and T is HIJKLMNOPQRS, and then 7 and 7. That's in gematria, where you count up to 7, down to 1, back up to 7, down to 1, and then you have the negative side of it. First, you're going up like this, right? But it's up like this, down to 1, then all the way back down to 7 underneath, then all the way up and all the way down. You can do it this way, but that's only part of the skeleton. Do you follow what I'm saying? I'm going to try and see. I'm going to go get my drink, but I'm going to leave you with this. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to go get a little water in the kitchen. See, I like to be able to show everything in art. There's this one here, okay, where it goes down to here, but there's also this one over here, right, where we start. Let's say I'm going to start here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go all the way down here and all the way up here. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go all the way down here. Then I'm going to go all the way up here. But you see over here, it's questionable. If this is number 7, I go straight up and then I go over, and I go straight up and then I go over. So there's a few ways to create this design. It's questionable. Although the primary of this design is right over here. You notice the way I put this way, this one this way, and then you notice this one is upside down from it. Another thing to say, before I get to the questions, did I just hold on a second? Remember, 1 moon. Oh, honey, I can't believe you're going to have the second letter in the alphabet is B, and then you put another B and you put a Y. B and a B and a Y. BBY, like saying BB. So apparently, when I was born, my mother gave birth to me. I was a baby. My mother gave birth to me, and I was a baby boy. And then when my mother gave birth to my sister, my mother apparently gave birth to a baby girl. So when my mother had the baby boy, she had the baby boy. And there was 1 moon cycle. And my mother had the baby girl, and it was 1 moon cycle. And it just so happened it was the same moon. Little brighter, little bigger, little smaller. Mars has 2 moons. Mars happens to be the crown of Earth. If you're putting words on the Rubik's Cube over here, and I put Earth on this side, I'll put Mars on that side. Why? Because Earth is the 3rd planet, Mars is the 4th planet, and they made this dice cube doing exactly that. That's all I'm doing, is I'm just repeating what's already been created. I'm not doing anything else. Everything that's ever been created and what is not done or done differently or not understood. I don't think I said that right. Anyways, I'm going to skip over that, but I met somebody this weekend that happened to be a linguistic, I think they said, teacher, or they knew heavily about that and how the language evolved. And no doubt language evolved, but who said to put what letter where? Who said what to create as a final design? Who said that somehow English seems to be a very popular language nowadays, and why? And why do all these words that I work with come out to be what they are? It is what it is. They are what they are. We play games. We accept it. And as we accept it, the river flows. When you stop accepting it, the river stops. You have too much information. You turn on your computer, you have too many pictures. You didn't classify everything. You haven't seen everything. I'm not really sure which way to say this. I got to get a drink. What? My little kitty is sitting. How you doing, little kitty, eh? Okay, let's just put this away here. I'm going to go over these questions. Statements, remarks. Okay, let me read this. Yeah, it's Allison, I think. Allison Gray. Allison Gray. Allison Gray. Alex and Allison Gray. Highway. So when you have highway, you also have the hijack. The reason for that is when you create the letters H and I, they will create bricks. Okay, they'll create rectangular bricks. If you want to write the numbers 5 and 2 on them, they will create the same design as the H and the I. The 5-2 is Earth and the 25 is Jack. And yes, there are other words that go with it. At the end, the mathematics will create 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 equals 17Q, 1 and 7. Can you find 1 and 7 on the cube? The complete reverse cube is 7. 5 and 2, 7 equals to 17Q. The reverse alphabet of 17Q is J10. When you say 17 in French, you will say 10-7. So you automatically include J inside of what is G and B, B and G, the initials BG. If you know the initials BG, also BG is 27. It's red. When you multiply it and add it, will equal to 14 and 9 equaling to 23. It will say win big red. Are they talking about Nibiru? Do you know anybody with the initials BG? Besides Blackjack and Bill, I don't remember, Bill something, Bill G, 8s. I think it's 8s. 5117, New Realities. I'm shocked, but for certain, only with it, Sir Laugh Out Loud, me too. Do you know what these folks I've been caught up with trying to save in a little bit? I have no idea at all. I really mind. I have no idea at all. I really mind my own business. Is that the way you say business? By meaning twin, meaning 2. B as in 13. I as in, you see there's a dot with I, so it's both Mars and Earth. The Z can be inverted to an N, right? And both the capital Z and the small z are the same. And it's not the same for the N. The capital N and the small n are different. It's almost like putting a small r with an I on it or a line telling me I'm not including Mars in the N letter because of design. Now, if I would create N on square paper, the thing is with that little tail that sticks out, I'm going to have to, if the obligation with the tail with the N, right, that sticks out over here, right? If I design that on square paper, is it just supposed to be like a little mark? How can I do that again, right? I have it here, but there's a little mark up here. So does that, what does that say? I go like that, like that, like that, or like that, and then this. Is it because I lift my pen, or am I automatically having to create the N, the small n about, let me see if I can do this. Because it's such a small little piece, right? It's almost like saying, I got to create the N like this big because I have to make this look small. See the way it looks small over here? See the way we have just that little piece, the way this bends in? What if I couldn't bend that in? What does that mean? Did I pull a branch over? Did I bend a branch? Right? Does a curve mean I bent something? Right? Does it mean because it's an elastic and I can bend it? I don't know, but there's a reason for that. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Okay, so let me continue on with these questions. That's okay. I'm not very good at my grammar too. I just need to understand it more or less. Day job. This is basically my day job. So if you want to help me out staying here, that would be the continuous of my day job. Eclair. Eclair is stuffed donut of some sort. And in French, to give more light. Let me see. I can't see. You're in my way. Um, let me see. Moon again. Back with the letter M. You see the M. Not unlike the is a W curved. If I would put a small letter W, we'd have to start looking at that. And the invert to moon, depending on how you want to use the vowels. If we go A, E, I, O, and U, we would change the O for E, E, and I would go neem. So what would neem be? Or would it be N-E-E-M? The EM part can say matter and energy, Mars and Earth, Mercury and Earth, 13 and 5, 13th letter and the 5th letter, the beginning or first initial for matter and energy. 13.5 is the division of the alphabet. 3.5 is what is part of the division of what is the moon, 8 times 3.5. And another thing about that is when you go use 3 for a number at the beginning, the reality of a division of something like 1 divided by 3, because 3 is before you crown something, right, in numbers and not in all categories. I'm just talking in this one specific category. Before you crown numbers, we do everything by 3. 4 will create a crown and it will become imperfect to what is perfect. With 4, we're going to create more numbers than with 3. I'm going to show you, for example. 3 times 1, 4, 7 will equal to 3 and 12 and 21, equaling to a total of 36, right? 36, I like to say 360 degrees if you want, but it'll be 3 and 3 and 3 equals to 9. That becomes our birth, right? And it's so ironic because 3 by 6 is 18, okay, which equals to 1 plus 8 equals to what is 9, and 3 plus 6 equals to 9. The total is 27, the house of Bait. When you go 3 times 2, 5, and 8, it equals to 6 and 15. And by the way, this becomes CLU like in clue, right? Or we can also put clue equaling to nail or a clue. 6, 15, and 24, which is also FOX or 666. This is what divides the 7th gate. This one inverts alpha beta because the opposite side of is 1 of 6 and 2 is 5, because if I do this, you'll see 5. If I do this, you'll see 1. CV 5, 6 will be 1, 2. Alpha beta creation. That's your base creation 11. 41 king me. Multiply and add. Multiply and add. We can work with subtraction as well. Right now we're multiplying and adding. So we've done this so far. Now when we go to 3, 6, and 9, it becomes 18, 27. Sorry, it becomes 9, 18, and 27. And we already saw that 9, 18, 27 over here. So in 147 is 3, 6, 9. And what's ironic about that is 1 and 3 equals to 4. 1 and 6 equals to 7. And 1 and 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So it tells me the same story between 3, 6, and 9 and 1, 4, and 7. 2, 5, and 8 become 2, 5, and 8. 2 and 2, sorry, 2, 5, 2, 5, and 8 and 2, 5, and 8 equals to 1, 4, and 7 all the same. 2 and 5 equals to 7, and 2 and 8 equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. But when you run 1, 4, 7 with 2, 5, and 8, you will end up with 3, 6, and 9 on all categories. When you run 2, 5, and 8 with 3, 6, and 9, you will get 2, 5, and 8. 2, 5, and 8, and 3, 6, and 9. 9 in any of these numbers will equal to 2, 5, 8. 6 with any of these numbers counted to a single digit will equal 2, 5, and 8. This is that reality. Not only that, that when you go to create the interlocking numbers, when you go to create the interlocking numbers, they will, just give me a second, they will do this. In this one over, let me see which one. Yes, this one over here, this is where 3, 6, 9 comes together with 2, 5, and 8. This one is when 1, 4, and 7 comes together with 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9, 2, 5, and 8. 3, 6, and 9, 1, 4, and 7. Then the other one over here, I put them all together. But if we remove this triangle here, we're going to see these two close together and this one spread apart. What are these angles? I haven't worked on that yet. Are you following me so far? Next, we're going to go back to what I just showed you, that the right angle triangle, when I'm putting 1, 4, and 7 with 3, 6, and 9, I am going to recreate 1, 4, and 7. So if I do that, we're going to come back and it's going to look 1, 4, 7 with 3, 6, and 9. It'll be tilted to the left. Then we're going to go back and go 3, 6, and 9 with 2, 5, and 8. 2, 5, and 8. It'll recreate 1, 4, and 7. And then it's going to be tilted over here to the right. And 2, 5, and 8 with 1, 4, and 7, right? 2, 5, and 8 with 1, 4, and 7. Where was that? 2, 5, and 8. 2, 5, and 8 with 1, 4, and 7 is going to create what is 3, 6, and 9. 2 and 1, 3. 2 and 4, 6. 2 and 7, 9. 5 and 1, 6. 5 and 4, 9. 5 and 7, 12. 1 and 2, 3. 57 connects to the moon. 84 becomes Pluto, cycle of the moon. 48 is the word sun. 24 is the dividing seventh gate, because 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 will create what is 6 and 8. We automatically jump here. We divide the gate. Why do I say that? I say that because the cube divides at those numbers, 6 and 8. 8, 9, 10 on one side, which is also 189 or 1, 8, and 9, because 10 to a single digit. And on the other side is 4, 5, and 6, the Federation. Federation, the Federation death, 4, 5, and 6, the letter M, and 1000. The reason for that is the M letter. When you create 1V1, the letters are 4, 5, and 6, because the value of that in Roman numerals are 4, 5, and 6. Right? So we're going to get back to the questions. Face pink tears, the Hall of Records, an impossible labyrinth. The possible labyrinth is what? Because what they have created is the possible labyrinth, because they gave us all the answers to everything. We just have to put them together. We need, I believe that we need, and I might be 100% wrong, but I think I need to create, I can say but I'd like to put together a programmation of all the equations that I have that have been created throughout time. Throw the words in and let's see what they tell us in this. One moon for the birth, right here on this planet Earth that we know it, but we're missing the 2 moons, right? We need 1 moon to bring in a blank copy. We separate them with 2 moons, right? Mars, 2 moons of Mars, and then we create from that copy, we create one of the 2 6s, right? Either the boy 6 or the girl 6. The blue, or I'm not sure if we should use red, because they like to say red for stopping, red for the devil, red for the bullseye, equaling to what is 50. Also the EI world, because anytime you have 0, you now have 9. And the reason for that is 9 plus 5 equals to 14. 1 and 4 is back to 5. As well, the multiplication of anything by 9 will always equal to 9, but the addition of any number with 9 will only equal back to the number. Also, as well as the design of the 9 will invert to the 6, to where the maximum number in creation is 33. That will create 3 times 3, 9, and 3 plus 3, 6, in which in this design will create the yin and the yang. And inside this number is going to be the rotation of the moon and the sun. Where I get that is because number 3 is what makes your first formation before you crown it with number 4. I don't remember the exact reason for it. Number 3, when you design the A letter, known as ace, the D pyramid is sitting on top of the stand C, and almost looks like a rocket ship, right? And they also use it. Where in the world that, oh my God, I play, game of poker or whatever, I got a rocket. And you got rockets, you got two aces. So if you got two aces, you have 9 for one ace, and you have 18 for two aces, right? Because the word ace equals to 9. But not only that, you only have 2, but you got the highest card. This seems like 2 is the highest. If you put them together and you turn them sideways, it looks like a B. Also, ace can be known as 11. So if you have 2 aces in blackjack, you usually split them, or you're sitting with 12 on the same card. You only can have one ace 11. You're not allowed to have 2. You can have ace 11, plus if you get a second card, you get one ace, and you go nowhere else with that. So you can play ace, 11, and 1, which is actually the core of 360 degrees, as 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and that equals to 111, which divides 36 numbers in the game of roulette. Even though it equals to the center of 36 numbers, it only equals to 111, which is 1/6 of the numbers, because when you add up 1 through 36, it equals to 666. 666 and our inverted vibration of 432, or Earth's vibration, 234.0 and 666.0 equals to a 90-degree angle. 93 is complete. 9 is complete. So if we're going to work in 9s and work in 3s and parts of 3s, right, we're going to now look at hockey. And 30 degree, 30 degree, 30 degree for that one angle. And I like to look at hockey. I like to look at the 3 parts of Rubik's Cube, right? I also like to understand that the 3 parts of a base formation is 3 times 28, or 4 times 21, needing to have 4 of these cubes with 21 dots equaling to 84. So we need 4 of these to equal to 84, to where we get 3 moons of 28 days, 28 times 3 equaling to what is 84. Noted that the 9th planet here and not here is Pluto, and Pluto is numeric value of 84. And in that, the continuation of the math of 8 and 4, or 4 and 8. And by the way, number 48 is the word SON, sun. And by the way, we're going to take off the first initial, and we're going to go S19 as for 8I, and the word on. And in the word on is a continuation into what is pi. Pi begins with 3.1415, and the 14 to 15 letter is ON, or NO. No, it's okay with me. BJ Blackjack, Neptune is number 94, which is 10. Sorry, Neptune is number 95, which is 20 difference with what is the moon 75. And the invert to Neptune, bringing it to a 10-10, or a center position, or an I position. And the reason I say that is when you put 2 circles over each other, you usually have the dot in the center of a circle to spin those circles, creating, when 2 circles come together, it's going to create an I. Now, the I can look like the football. If I throw the football into the end zone and my team catches it, I get 6 points of creation, and I rest on the 7th day for the convert, and I get 6 points and 1 point. And the game starts usually around this time of the year. Why is the game played more in the winter time? I don't know, because it's probably a sport you have to keep cool. So then all of a sudden, so do computers have to keep cool, or they shut down. Cat's Cap 2422 seems to be, now 22 is ape. The beginning and the ending of what is 2 and 2 on the bookends brings the gateway in between. Number 42 also represents EI. I'm not sure if those are words for example. I'm not understanding what the word benders are, but you can use bend and then the add-on of ERS. Who are you? She never really gives a satisfactory answer. Not giving a full answer, or not being able to answer a question, is actually not telling the truth, or not knowing the answer. So don't tell me what you know. If you don't know, tell me what you think you know, and why. And if you can't tell me why because you don't want to, then you might be keeping a secret. Cat's Toys, hi Kitty, so beautiful. Smashbox Moon. I'm down to here already. So is she exactly him now? No, she does not know. And another thing is is that since we're coming in here, I'd like to look at the zodiac and the moon and the coming in of birth as the pinball machine, to where you have to move all the way around through the zodiac stars before your internet connects to where you end up in the month you're born. And then there's the color of my skin, which is beige. There's different levels of beige, but at one point, the beige changes. I'm not sure under what moon or how that works. And it seems like there's one triangle made for women and one triangle made for men, but yet at a certain stage of beige, they inverted these triangles again, just like when I say, it might be confusing because I don't know 100%, and I'm not sure if this is true, but I'm just telling you based on numbers that 1, 2, 3 is 6, plus 4 is 10. We've turned over to the darker side. It keeps going back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, turnover. 1, 2, 3, 4, turnover. 1, 2, 3, 4, turnover. Miss Mary Mac. I don't know. Yes, irony. What do we have over here? 27, 15, 8, 6, and 15. 9, 7, 8, 6, 1, 5. I'm not really sure where you're going with that, but I can tell you that 6 and 8 are the only dark numbers if you're playing the roulette board. Ron E. Whoop. The ghost. Okay, so now we have a trap. So now when I look at this, right, I question myself, is this like a swimming pool, right? Or is this a barrier you can hold on to? Because the background is the same as the in-ground, I can jump over and into this area, or hold on from the outside, or hold on from the inside. 9, 18, 27, 3 times, 3, 6, or 9. By the way, the moon in Las Vegas, Nevada now, silly thing. It can be much more. Please explain that. Las Vegas is a huge, right? It's life gas, AS. It's the ace. So when you say las in French, it now becomes the ace. So you're talking, I'm not really sure what you're talking about. I don't want to put anything into that elm or realm. When you put V and E together, they're polarities. And there's a chance that everything, all the other letters in the alphabet might go in between or on the outside. Like you would go F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. And on the outside of V, you would go X, Y, W, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D on the other side, like taking that heart and putting on the inside and the outside to where the barriers or the bookends would be L and V, if you want to look at it that way. And then there's going to be a numeric value. I'm just looking at that right now. Evade in Nevada. Nevada has Hoover Dam, very important, because on Bugs Bunny, I'm not sure if you can look up Jean-Jacques Chalac, what he did. And I always relate Jean-Jacques, JJ, 1010, right? 100 or C19, right? Because of what they do in Bugs Bunny, Jean-Jacques Chalac and Bugs Bunny, they seem to be playing with the dams. I'll look that up because that's what I see the future as. Pyrite, cute one. Irony with the arm could be Mars and can also be a goat, a ram. There are obligations for certain people in the game that we're in. I'd like to look at it as a game because I'm creating everything I do from words and games as being the truth. Because if you say 1, it's a number 1. If I pick up one item and I put down one item and I pay $1 and it's 1 o'clock, everybody knows what that 1 is being used for. So no matter what you do, the way to spell 1 is O-N-E, or in French, I think it's U-N. If you want to spell it in Spanish, that's okay, because we're still using the same alphabet. Wow, this is so hard. What's hard? I'm not touching it. Hard to understand within your mind? Or is it something that's hard? Is it hard cheese? Because it's not that hard. If it was a piece of steel, that would be very hard. But when you're looking at hard, or the word hards, okay, you'll be looking at the family of H, right? Because A is in the H is in the A family, and RD is what comes third. So if it's coming third, ending in what is RD, like in third, you'll now have bronze numeric value 80, which stems out from what is 88, which is part of the seventh gate. And the reason for that, okay, is bronze. When you look at it from a distance, it can look like gold. Don't forget, it's what you sometimes see, it's sometimes what you touch, it's sometimes what you hear. It's never the same. So when I hear it or see it, when I look at it, now it's made from tin. If I just took tin and I looked at it from a distance, I'd also think I'm looking at silver. So that's how I find that silver and gold are in bronze. Not only that, when you put silver and gold together, it creates number 3. And when you're running in a race, the person that is, or the person, whatever that is in third place or the winning happens to be the bronze. It could be LeBron James, who scored number 38, 38, 38. There were a bunch of 38s that came out when he scored that record. And there was a whole bunch of crazy numbers in that. Yeah, got 2 aces up his sleeve. Also a sleeve. There's many means for what sleeve is. Also starts with an S. It'd be nice to see some more capital letters, although the small letters do tell me something different. King and checkmate, checkers. X marks the spot. Is that where a check comes in? We play tic-tac-toe. 9 lives of the cat is also can be compared to one of the words with dog. And what is similar to 9 lives of the cat to dog? They usually are, I've heard before, dog is a K9. So K is the 11th letter. K9 becomes 911. If you write it down, it looks like KIL and then, or KI and 11, and you'll have to write it down yourself. I don't want to take the chance that they dupe me on telling the truth, right? Can I be any further from the truth if I said the letter A is in the alphabet that I know it in North America, an alphabet that I think that 20 or 30 or 40 million people in North America say A is in the alphabet. I'm going to use the same amount of people of 30 or 40 million people that say ABC is in the alphabet. I bet you that for all the people that know how to write, they will tell me that every single letter that I mentioned, that I talk about, is in the alphabet that we use in North America. For most people in the English language, sorry, I don't have to use North America. Why don't I use universal alphabet of what I put in use, what they call the Michael Jackson ABC Jack Son 5. Black Jack. Probably the first one, 12. Remember 1 cube and 2 cube, what the differences are. The truth is disguised very cleverly if you're looking at it the same way I'm looking at it, right? It's the same way that in the world, somebody wore something. Oh, right. In the world war, right? In the world, when you're wearing something, it means to war, right? I wore it before. So in the World War, right? They made this machine. They call it ED, right? They call it ED or ED or DENA or DENATA, to deny. Except instead of to deny, it was telling the truth, Edna. And they found out just through words how they were actually sending messages out. Moon triangles, yes, and they flip. And if I hold up this, right, looks like a number 1, but what if I hold it this way? Won't it look like a 0? Right? I can put a ring around it, but if I hold it up this way, what happens to my ring? This way, I can put the ring in it. This way, I can't. Right? Now, if I had this like this, right, and I can put the ring in here and I can stop it from moving, right? But if I put the ring here, I don't stop it from moving. It keeps on moving. Unless I turn my arm like this, this one can move around, but now this one can't. So anyways, I'm just trying to bring out you have to be open-minded to see possibilities. What's going on? Yes, syllables. Syllables, right. Multi-traps. So the first thing that reminds me of multi-traps is that if you're playing pinball, you have to get so many balls into a certain area before they release the special ball. And then sometimes they trap each ball, 2, 3, 4, or 5 balls, and they release all balls at the same time. We also have to understand how pinball is made, because I believe that in order to send a message and for you to receive a message, okay, how does that work? Now, if I stop from receiving the messages, if I send the message out and it never gets there, you're going to get, hey, did they get my message? Did they not get my message? Well, I'm not sending them no more messages. I'm not sending no more messages. It's been 5 years, never got a return message. I'm not sending no more messages. That's it. I'm done. So imagine in the game, okay, outside in the altar world, in the game, they're sending messages that we're supposed to receive. Let's call it the Spirit. Let's call it the good Lord is sending up messages. But we're not receiving any of the messages. Why not? So they stopped sending messages. Now, the whole thing is the messages have been hijacked, let's say. All the messages have been hijacked. I'm trying to see if I can explain this. And all of a sudden, all these messages hijacked, not shared. And now, because they have all the information, they're not sharing with us. They can do anything they want because they know everything and we know nothing. But wait, period of time goes by. We're catching up because we start to learn on our own through the, how can I call it? Through the, what's it called? Through ration and common sense. We start to catch up with certain things, or we slow down, or we can't think anymore. Now, if we can't think, we have no more imagination. We can't build the machines. Now, all these machines have to be built for those who have hijacked the message, because part of that message has to teach us how to build things in order so those who hijack the message can own what we built. So they have to keep giving us this information, like the river has to keep flowing. Otherwise, if it completely stops flowing, the altar world will know, hey, we got to stop this game. Something's going wrong. My people are not getting the message. I don't know why. Things are being built. I guess the game has ended. And they would stop the game. Now, if they stop the game in the middle of the game, it can either be a rain out, or the visiting team has lost the game or gave up. So we're not the visiting. We're the home team. We're the receivers. We play till there's 54 outs in the baseball games in the 9 innings. We take a break at the 7th inning stretch. We take a break at the gateway, 39 outs. 21 is the letter U, and 18 is the letter R. 6 times 3 and 7 times 3, 51, 5 and 1, 6, 52, 5 and 2, 7. Earth being 52, 5 and 2, 7. Mars being 5 and 1, 6. And the spirit is 76. In the house of DC, Mecca. Where do I get that from? The word house is number 68. The word planet, in which the word 10 is inside of it, and the word LAN, P, okay, can be inverted to 91, which is spirit, or 61, which is church, and P is 16. 1 and 6 equals to 7. Now we're talking about Earth again inside the capital letter. We were taught to understand and move capital letters and capitalize them, make them first as capitals. I'm just getting a little tired, I see right now. Let me try and get through more of these comments. I need to get more water. NVLV. Yes, NV and LV, 14 and 11, 25, Earth, VV, 22, life. V in life is VIE, and it's in the IE system. It's what's ironic about I and E is the 5th and 9th letter is they both are numeric value 42. They both open the gateway. Ring around the roses. Tempal, template, Templar. In 5 years, we will be in 2028. The full cycle for 2028, 2029 is a gateway going to represent the third and the fourth year, the leap year. 28 and 29 is 57, the moon. 2 and 8, 10, 2 and 9, 11, alpha, beta. 2028 equaling to 48, equaling to the word sun, equaling to what is Pluto. 2992 to what is yellow. Number 29 is also the IT system of Resh K. K is the 11911, referring to both the cat and the dog. D and C, D for dog and C for cat. 2624 equaling to 50 can also be 59 and 56 or 65 or 95 Neptune. And the reason for that is 9 can be inverted to a 6. All zeros can be inverted to a 9, which is then again inverted to a 6. That's the maximum you have on this. But every single side is actually 9. It is 6 with a 3 void. It is 3 with a 6 void. It is 2 with a 7 void. It is 4 with a 5 void. It is 5 with a 4 void. Only 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay, can be voided and in dots. And we'll say the word love and I and R, right? 9 and 9. The only, you cannot invert love without using the same letters, and you cannot invert R without having I. And it all equals to 90, 90, 99. And when you watch it reboot, it's the TV set saying that. Let me see where else I am in this. Oh, say, can you see? Oh my God, Jose, can you see? Hey, Jose, Jose, what can you see? Anybody know Jose? You know Jose. Jose, Jose, Jose. Right? Jose, Jose, can you see? Rest in peace, rehab. Rest in peace, RIP. Or how about your IPA? Or how about your IP address? And anything to do with IP or RIP. It's not so much the words, it's just no one wants to listen. Well, I'm going to enlist in 10. But I am going to, let me try and see if I can see a little bit deeper into this. Net seal. I'm just trying to look. The I, okay, when it's when it's not first, it says Mars and Earth. When the I is first, it's talking of the heavens and birth, because there's no dots. And when you're supposed to create an I and they removed it from this keyboard, there should have been a line above and a line below. Now, I know in many languages, in many different, I don't know how do you say it, out in Asia or in the Mayans, they use a line to refer to a number. When you're counting, they sometimes use little beads to count, so we can also look at that. Oh no, it's listen, it's a trap. How can you look at it? First of all, math is time heaven because it ends with th, so you know it right away. It begins with fourth. I've been at this 18 years. I was going nuts when I was 10 or 12 years old. I used to have bad dreams. My mother used to say, "What are you dreaming about? What are you dreaming about?" "Oh, Ma, the alphabet and numbers. I see them. They're all over the place. They're in front of me. I don't know what it is. I just can't stop crying." This is what happened to me when I was 10 or 12 years old. It was really crazy. My biggest nightmares were about the alphabet and numbers. 68 being both F and H, absolutely, right? But it's not only F and H, because if you go AE, that's 6. If you go BD, that's 6. If you go CC, that's 6. If you go now 8 only begins at B. 8 only begins at B. The minimum, okay, is AE, and that equals to 6. But when you want to go to 8, your minimum, okay, is BF, equaling to 8. your A and B coming together. So now you're going to have 3 and 11, right? 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is what's going to equal 2 and 1 equals to 3. Now, if we refer to the cube, remember, all our answers are out there somewhere. We find all our answers somewhere. We now have 11. So if I want to flip over that, I got 3. Also, if you're playing the game of pool, these will be the reverse of each other, and they'll be red 27. The question is it re as a prefix, talking about D, D being the crown, right? D being the crown of C, but I didn't say it's the round. Or is it the first round, the second round? What round will it be? How many rounds are there? When I was talking about a round and one, it's 1 dot inside of what should be 8 for a base. But depending on what the shape is, that could be altered. Now, another thing is that if I was using Earth, I would have to have 4 dots. So am I going to be working with dots or complete area space? And a complete area space will use 4 dots. If I'm using tic-tac-toe for this reality, I'm going to need 1 dot in every single one of these areas. So there's a total of 12 dots. But if I'm going to box it in, I'm going to add 4 more dots, and then I'm going to say the word purple. If I say the word purple, I'm going to say 4 and 12. If I say 4 and 12, I'll say 4 and 3. I'm going to say DC. Because when you play pool, the 4 is opposite of the 12, and 4 and 3 is that number. And if I say that, I'm now going to say red 27 and blue 40 equaling to 67. I can go for soul. I can go for water. But I can also go for 51 Mars, stemming out to what is 1 plus 5 equaling to 6. And I can go for 52 Earth is what's going to stem out for 2 plus 5 equals to 7. I can also do this and this in Roman numerals, even though it's this and this. 12 and 9, 21. 12, 9, and 9 equals to 30. There's another way. There's a mathematical way to get to 51. Here it's 4 by 13, so I have 4 men. And here it's 3 by 17. Also, to get to number 52, we have 3 times 18 equals 54 minus 2. And we have 3 times 17 equals 51 plus 1. Everything that we're going to do with 3 and 4, and then its calculation, we're going to multiply it to get to the number or to reduce it, and then it's going to be either 1, 2, or 3. When we're working with number 4, right, you will always get up to 3 areas. Let's say I pick number 53, right? So it's going to go 4 by 13. Did I get that right? Equals 52 plus 1. Let's say it was 54. Well, now I'm at 3 by 18 equals to 54. Well, what if I was at 55? Well, I'd be 3 times 18, and then I would have to go plus 1. So we're always going to be 1, 2, 3, always to get to those numbers. There's never going to be any more. And the reason for that, I'm doing that, is because the inside of what is 3 and 4, even though the core of this is 3.5, that's what I want. That's what I actually came here to talk about. That's only one level of this, only one puck in the hockey game, you know? So I came here actually to talk about this over here. I'm going to answer more questions. I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'm going to come back. Maybe somebody wants to just, keep an eye on this, my carpet. How's my carpet tonight, eh? If we had nothing inside of us to care, we must care, because inside of us are the building blocks of caring. Otherwise, I couldn't move my hand if my brain didn't care about me. If the motherboard was broken and nothing cared, it was manufactured to care. C-A-R-E. Remember, R-E is a prefix, R-E is a suffix, and should we put A-R for A? It was C-A. Back in a minute. Oh. Yeah, that's the river. Give me a minute. You know, the worst thing is to eat late at night. And I had something at 8 o'clock, and wings are very fatty. Just give me a second. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for something. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I always lose some. Oh, here it is. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm coming back. Okay, where were we? 2013, or is it CB? Now, I missed a few. Oh, I must have went. Kitty Puppy, Puppy, PY. PY is also known as an add-on. So now you have Pup. Pup is also known, I think, for connecting trucks. Usually the word we use is 18-wheeler. And so now if we're going to go with 18-wheeler, sorry, if we go with 18-wheeler, notice the way we add on the ER at the end because it has 18 wheels, and now we're using the S instead of 18-wheel. Or why not just use the word in singularity and just write wheel? But if we write wheel, are we going to write we will? I'm very hot. And the other thing is, when you have 18-wheel, you have what you call is the tractor, or the main component to pull the pup. So the main component to pull the pup is usually, we're going to go base, okay? Back in the yonder years, okay, there were 4 plus, if I can remember, 2 tires, if I go to base. But the base I know was 6 tires, right? And I can't remember what the first trucks were, so I'm going to have to go, but I do know they were 6, right? So what they do now is the tractor has 10 wheels, and they also call it the double axle. Let me write that down, double axle. I don't know if I should write down the transmission. And now we're going to go differential. We also have what is the differential lock. and we have brakes. But we also have the trailer brakes, or the pup brakes, if you want to talk about the pup. So what we have now is 10 wheels on the tractor, and we have 8 wheels on the trailer. You notice we use L and L. No. On the tractor, we use T and T. Sorry, I have to do this. Sorry, I didn't want to do that, but I'm very, very hot. Yeah, earlier on, I don't like to take off my shirt in public. Earlier on, I was talking about, so let me think, right, A and E. So we have, I just want to go back to that just for a second. So I have A. Let me mark that down. I'm just going to put this down so I don't have to show myself. Now, when I look at this, I like to look at it like this. Ah, Joker. But all of these letters are in the A sounding family, except R is a soft sound, and all the rest are the hard sound. Now, these letters, okay, all have inverted letters. I, T, no, not T, it's P, Q, S, and Z. So you're going to have these letters. So this is 9, 19, 30, 48. The word sun is 48. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Without even adding it, it's 135. So now I'm going to have 87, telling me about a gateway in Pluto. 26 and 19. 26, 19, 17, 16, and 9. 25, 42, 52, 61, 71, 81, 87. If I multiply them by 3, I get 78. I get that gateway in Q. October, if you add up 1 through 12, this is also noted to be the dog. This is 57. This is going to connect to the moon. This one is going to connect to Mars and the crown of J. You know, Joe, John, J. This one is 48. It's going to connect to the sun. Inverted is 91, going to connect to the spirit, also to Jesus Christ, altered current. And then the 9 is going to be 27 inside the house of bait, creation in the house of bait through Venus. Venus is a parent. Venus is a parent. After this one, Venus is a parent everywhere. 5 out of 6 sides have Venus apparency. Venus, double Venus, double Venus, double Venus, single Venus. Just 2. This is Venus with Mercury, the 1 dot in the center. Anytime you see a dot, it's Mercury. Anytime you see 2 dots, it's Venus. Over here inside Saturn is the half-life. We also have to understand that when we're building and we use lumber or plywood, we're always working plywoods of 4x8, right? We're working in rectangular. So we're not working in square. When do we work in squares? When we rent apartments, sometimes we call them squares. 2015, 5775. CB codes. D being the crown of what is C. What round 2 is my mom says. Okay, let me see this. Mums are watching over us. Mums. 464 DC. eye, cat's eyes. Excuse me. The cat eye, the way the black is, and the dog eye. You see, the dog represents our eyes, but the cat does not. The cat is overlapping. What the cat? What is this? My cat? Um, you know what? We were made to care to, so I can't really explain that because I'm not a psychologist. Um, really? I ate at 8 o'clock at night. I should have never ate. Look at my eyes. Let me. TNT Dynamite, 2014 and 20. Very good. I like that. TNT is 20 and 14 and 20. 252. There's a mathematical 252 is 126. 126 times 2 equals to 252. There's another way to get to this number telling me about Q, but it's also talking about Mars in singularity, meaning when you start with a 1, it's the center. If I would go 216 or 31, I can't use 316. I can use 216. 613 becomes the laws of Moses, and 136 becomes your ABC creation. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. Why do I say the moon? And listen, this is my hypothesis that the diameter of the moon is 2160 miles, that the kilometers are 3476, that the 34 is the house of DC to the planet to what is 7 and 6, 51, 5 and 1, 6, and 5 and 2, 7, going back to what is Earth and Mars, matter and energy. The division of the alphabet is 1, 3, and 5 are the 13th letter for M and the 5th letter for E, in which the 5th letter, 13 and 5, is now going to be inverted to what is 14 and 22, to what is 5 and 4, to what is 4 and 5. It actually works out perfect, and it has to. 22, when you say 22, you're busting out. It's also ape and go. If you're going to say go, you're going to go gringo. Already, we have O, say, can you see what, Jose? And now you have gringo. So why are they bringing us over to Mexico? Or is that where that term comes from? Because when you start the word X, M, X, I, co, company of, M-E again, the 13th and the 5th letter, also noted to be the orange ball and pool, and the sun, and the ace, or altered current. Why? Again, the ACE equals to 9. 1, 3, and 5 goes back to 13.5, the heart of the alphabet, just like the heart of this cube is 3.5. But it's 3.5 at 0.5, it's 3.5 at 1.5, and it's 3.5 at 2.5. At 1.5, it's talking about Earth, Mars. At 2.5, it's talking about the half-life. I'm going to show you this in a minute. This is why I started the video. Nude and fearless. What is your number one survival item? Basically, my security is the truth. But my number one survival item, I have no idea. I have so many things in my head. If I really had to think, I just like to have water and a lot of friends. And that would be my number one survival. Because if we shared the truth with everybody and then everybody pulled their weight in the right way, we're all going to help each other out. When you're tired, you're tired. When you can ready to go and let's do it and have fun and work, let's go, in French, when you write that word Jesus, it also says, I am. Jesus says, I am. Just as God, the Lord, is written in the Bible as I am. Well, Jesus is the same thing if you go to hearing of the word in the French language. Oh, it's very, very hot. It's maybe 75 degrees. I did something again today that I should not have done. I ate a few chicken wings, but I ate them at 8 o'clock at night. They're very fatty. They're hard to digest. I already have a digestive. I think I have sometimes a digestive problem, especially if I don't walk off my dinner. But it was just, it was just that's very fatty material. And our food that we eat today, I don't want to get into that. Let me just get out to the next one. ACAC. I have an air conditioner right above me. I don't like it. I used to have it in my other room, and they put in this fancy one over here, and it blows right on me. I don't like it. I used to like to have soft air. Oh yeah, Arizona. I heard it's been in the 40s in Celsius the whole summer. My cat, the minute my hand goes close to her, she keeps moving, almost like the cat has something to do with electricity. She's right over here. Let's take a look at the. How you doing, Minnie Mouse? Hey, you a good girl? Hey, you a good girl? Hey, boo, boo. How you doing, boo? She hates when I play with the tin foil. You gonna spin over for me? Spin over. Show everybody how you spin over. Come on. Show them you understand English. No? No English? No English? Hey? No English? Hey? No English, eh? Oi, oi, oi. Show 'em how you spin over. Come on. You can do it. Spin. Spin. Come on. Oh, don't huff and puff with me. I went out. I got your groceries. Come on. Spin over. Show everybody how you spin. Come on. I'm waiting. Okay. It's not happening, right? It's not happening. It's not happening, right? You looking at me? I'm looking at you too. I want you to spin over, Just show everybody you know English. I mean, stop hiding. We know you're hiding. We know you're hiding. Tell everybody you're hiding. Tell everybody the secret. Come on, tell everybody the secret. Well, I know one day you're going to share it with us. You're going to share it with us, right? You're going to share it with us? What if I rub your belly? Hey, what if I tickle you? Tickle, 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 tickle. Ooh. I stopped. Okay, let's continue on. Okay. It's getting late. Yes, see through the dice. Yes. 5775 is the year 2015. 7 and 7. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. 5, 5, 5. It brings the entire 36 numbers of the roulette together. It also will create 47 and 47 on each side. The center, it's funny. 5 times 7. Let me show you this. Depending on how you want to work the math. These two will create 47 and 47. Okay. This one in the center, right, will create 63. 9, 11, 9, 11. This moon electric. This is 11 for the student. This is your 360 degrees. It's ironic that I'm not really sure. 7 times 9 is 63. There's another number here. I forget what the number is. 9 times 7 is 63. I'm trying to figure out what the number is over here. I can't remember. It's not 99, 63. What's 36? There's another number. I forget what that number is. Is it 47? No, anyways, I can't remember. I don't like to forget that, but there's a number that creates 36 and 63. I'm going to think about it. What times what is 63? Is it 6? How can I get 63? 6 times 9, 6 by 8, 6 by 7, 6 by 6. 6 by 6 is 36, but that's not the number. There's a perfect number. I don't remember what that number is. Seven times 9 7 times 9, is this 34? 7 times 9 is 63. 6. 7 times 4, 28. Yes, 343. So 49 times 7 is the same as 7 times 7 times 7. Anyways, I don't want to get into that. I don't know why I did that. It's also noted to be number 23. 2 to the power at 2 and 3 to the power at 2. So both these numbers will come together. And then there's Miss Chummy here is just turned around again on my books. I'm getting a little bit tired here. 5882. The year we're going in right now in the Hebrew year for the moon is 5784. It's actually 5785. We turn over this year in numbers. It also becomes 1928. Right. That's what it is this year. 3 by 19 equals to 57. 3 by 28 equals to 84. The Hebrew New Year this year is ending this cycle of time. This totals 47. This totals to 6. 6 times 7 is 42. 6 by 4 is 26, is 262. What is this? This is the numeric value for time. This also becomes 1 and 1. So it actually becomes 3 times 1 and 3 times 1 equals to 33. We're in exact rotation of the yin and the yang. Or if we want, we can do this, what everybody's done before, right? We've seen this before. Here's 9 and here's 6. And I'm just going to do it quick, a little bit tired. And this is where we get that rotation. You notice, look at that. That's our 6. Where's our 8? Boom, right here. We connect the 8th one over here. So the Jack has 6 eyes, and the Queen has 8 eyes. The Jack, or the J for the 10th letter, the Q for the 17th letter, they are exactly polarity of each other, dividing the gate and reconnecting it over here. This is going to represent Pluto. This is going to represent the moon. The other way, it's going to represent electric. And this way, it's going to represent what is the sun, S-O-N, sun. The mathematics, again, back over here, this is for time and time. When you add them together, it equals to 94. When you add these together, it equals to 132. I'm not really sure what I should be doing with this, but this represents green at 49. This represents, I'm just trying to think the other 49, 8, the word 8. Is also number 49. It's also going to be relative to what is Uranus, and also to what is relevant to what is, when you multiply this again, it's going to be 38 and 38, 39 and 39. Angel, 10, 10, the sky. Anyways, there's a lot of mathematics, and because I'm not writing it out, I can't remember offhand for everything just like that. This one over here is going to equal to what is 2020. Over here, 6 times 2, 6 plus 2 is 8 and 12, 20. 6 times 2, 12. 6 plus 2, 8, 20. And what's ironic about that, right, is that 1 and 2 equals to 3, 3 and 8, which is now 11 and 22. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 1 equals to 3. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 4 equaling to 8. Here it is. 13. 13 and 8 and 3. Let me go. 5, 10, 15, and 18. 3 and 4 and 8 and 9. Now, what is this? Just let me know right now if you've seen this before, but I'm going to tell you anyways for those who haven't. 5 fingers, 6, 7, 8 fingers. Now I have 10 toes. 11, 12, 13. Now I have 10 toes and one hand equaling to 15, 16, 17, 18. And that's how I get to those numbers. my fingers and my toes, dice cube, the game of hockey, game of baseball, game of soccer, game of pool, bowling, cricket, or tennis, or I don't care what game it is. There's numbers, there's rules and regulations. Every rule and regulation uses words and terms and coaches and players, and all of these are just telling the skeleton of the greater story. 327 is Venus. 9 by 9, 81. Venus. Oh, now you look. When no one's watching, right? When no one's watching, she turns over, right? Right? Look, when no one's watching, you turn over. Is that what it is? Look. Okay. Yes, AC is 13. Altered current and also air conditioning. The cat knows. No, I haven't been to California in, I don't know, quite a while, maybe 20 years. Round to it. 2 5 2 12 6. 252 126 is. You just closed my book. Okay, I'm going to start on that in a minute. Okay, I'm not really sure where you're going with this. I see it in my fashion. This here, 126 will relate the game of pool. When you add up 1 to 15, it equals to 120. All zeros, not just because that the O letter is the 15th letter in the alphabet. So if you want to use the reverse of the 15, it'd be the 12th. But we're just going to use the regular position. So 2160 is the moon diameter. When you add up 1 to 15, right, being in the game of pool, 1 to 15, 1 and 5 is 6. Game of darts, 1 to 20, 2 plus 0 is 2. So right away we get 2 and 6 between these two. There's a lot of calculations, just a little bit tired right now. And I don't want to skip over and say I know something without explaining it. Otherwise, it's a worthless, I'm wasting my breath unless I can prove it. When you add up in darts 1 to 20, it equals to 210. When you add up 1 to 15, it equals to 120. So there's a division right there between 15 and 20. There's a crown, a polarity. What happens if you go 1 to 25? If you go 1 to 25, it equals to 325. 3 and 2 is 5, and that'll be 10. That'll be 1. Just trying to see what the numbers are. 1 will be 9, 9, 9, and 1. Okay. ABC creation inside of 3, 6, and 9, because 3 times A1, 3 times B, 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3C is 9. Is that what you're looking at from this? Times 3 equals this. Yeah, raw the 100%, and time in the sun. Instead of saying SUN, you say HORS. I think Horus also represents time. Hour in French is heure. This is how I see it. H and O coming together is number 53 to create it. I'm just there's bookends also in this. The bookends are H and S are bookends because the S is the polar to what is H. There's 5 letters, so it's going to revert to time to Earth. Anything that's most of what is odd will revert to Earth because it's going to have a line and a separation instead of a dot and a window. The reason for that is the square paper. I'm going to have to show you. Here's the dot, and I can create a window around that dot. I like to say Mars, and it's got a single dot. When I say Earth, I got 4 dots. Here I got 1 dot. Here I got 4 dots. And the reason for that is Mars is a single line, and Earth gets 2 lines. So now we can do that. So Mars would be, let's say, Mars will be 1, 4, and Earth. There's other numbers that can go with this, and I'm going to explain to you why I'm just doing it. Earth is going to be what is, let me see, did I do that right? No, I don't want to do it like that. I'm going to do this to start with, and this. And Earth, I'm going to see if I can chuck some numbers out here. Earth is going to be 4. Earth is going to be 4, 7, 1, 4. I use 1 for the 1 dot in the center. I use 4 for the 4 areas that I use. I use 9 for the 9 separations. And I'm using 6 because Mars is number 51. I use 7 because Earth is number 52, 7. I use 4 because of the 4 dots, right, for the 1 area square. But in order to create this, right, this Earth area, I'm going to use 9 areas in which I'm going to have 16 dots that come together. Do you follow? I'm a little tired to explain this exactly what it is, but just note that Mars gets 4 and Earth gets 9. And the word 8 is 49. The word green is 49. 94 is Uranus. If we want to split this up, I'm going to go 3 times 31 equals to 93 plus 1. So 93 represents Saturn, plus 1 represents the core. If it was plus 2, it's going to represent Earth. And don't forget, I only can be going this way or this way. I can't go both ways. Even in this one, I'm either going to be doing this way or this way. This one is going to be the Earth one. This one is going to be Mars. Here, we're going to be represented by the Queen. And the reason for that is the crown on the deck of cards. The Queen's crown, her hat is this way, while the Jack's hat is actually like this. That's the Jack's hat. It's a hexagon. Let me see where else we are in this. Now, if I look at Phoenician, I even though you're not answering to me, I'm presuming, but I look at Venetian blinds. If I have to understand shutter blinds and how they work, I have 1 shoe, but usually we walk with 2 shoes. So the word shoe would be 2740. Oh, wow, really? SHOE. 19 plus 8 plus 15 plus 5, 20, 28, 38. Wow, 47. Wow, just like time, shoe and time. Wow, and you need 2 shoes, so you got 47, and 47 is 94, or 2 shoes become 1111. 2 souls. I wanted to revert back to what I did before when I had an answer to 1928. I don't know if I showed this somewhere. I want to see where I had 1928. Because in 1928, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie or know if you look up Rotas, Sator, Opera, Tenant. When you add up the numbers, it comes out to a short count of 19 and 28. And Rotas, Sator, Tenant is also made a movie, and they're talking about the moon and backwards and forwards and repeating time, something in Rotas, Sator. I'd have to watch that movie again to understand what they're trying to tell us. They have to tell us in order to keep that river flowing, right? We all know the answer. Why should one informed group who, imagine you get a company and you have to put people to work. So you have to put people in charge, and eventually those people say, hey, look, we can take advantage of everybody and make more money, or et cetera, et cetera. You know where I'm going with that drift? So that's how it started. When the evil, this is a game, remember, when the creator set out his sons, and to each of the sons or daughters, they gave the planets, and in each planet they says, okay, here it is, do your worst or do your best, or teach the people how to become just like their father, right? And the one part is, I like to revert back to Moses, when the African king came to town and offered all kinds of beautiful gems and jewels and colors and carpets, and would not let the people go. It wasn't enough. And they built the cities, and Setes was in charge. Setes told them to build the cities, and Pharaoh told them to pharaoh the land. It's just too ironic. Just like Phobos, the moon of Mars, and Deimos, another moon of Mars, also in the word Deimos, is telling me about cube. Let me see where I am here. Big O Moonball in Las Vegas. Big O, bingo, big go moon. Why behind the big go moon? What is that telling me? And also noted that ball, house of bait, equals to 27, right? And in all, when it's 1-all, so it's a tie game in the house of bait. Well, I wasn't using the X, but the X in Mexico, also the M and E, matter and energy, and 1, 3, and 5 is what divides the alphabet. The X is also telling me about what divides the gate. And again, when I say, oh, say, can you see? I want to know if Jose was seeing it, right? I'm going to tell you right now, after 7 o'clock at night, you should not be eating. You need to take a walk. If you can't take a walk or whatever, you shouldn't eat until after 5, and all you should be drinking is water. Anything other than water is calories. Anything with calories is going to make your body function. And the minute you start to make your body function, it takes energy to make that body function. Well, right now the cat's in the litter, burying her treasure. Yes, the cat likes when I touch her. I'm not too sure about the end word over here. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure where your comments come out, but oh no, my cat, she loves the belly rub. She's like flipped upside down, like don't stop. Well, you know what? It's better for me to start late. One of the things is no one's ever around early, and 70. If we're going to talk about 70, PQRS equals to 70. Route 70 runs, if I remember, across Kansas City, and then Route 35, which is half of 70, right, runs all the way down to Texas. 105 or 3 by 35 or 3.5, 105 is also noted to be the hand of God. 343, 7 times 7 times 7, 1919, 38 gold, 1122. You can ask me the question. 22 cat books, 22 for ape and go. Cast all your cares on the Lord, 5785. That's exactly, I'm not sure why you said that, but that's exactly the year we are coming into right now. The bookends of 5 and 5 into the gateway of what is 7 and 8 becomes 565. 2015. I don't know Jillian, but I do know Gregorian. That's the year 2015, right? Where the bookends are 2 and 5 and 10. Your crown is in the center in that year. By the way, if you would take out a pen and write this down, in 1888, from 888, apparently that D Evil slept for 1,000 years. And in 1888, in the moon cycle of energy, for 75 years, something happened. I don't remember what it was, but he was let loose, and that was 1963, 75 years later. So from 1963 to the year 2000 is 37 years. To the year 2021, to the year 2021 is 21 years, but apparently the cycle ended on the female part, which is 12. As for the Bat's Mitzvah, isn't it funny? Bat's Mitzvah, Batman. From female to male. You have man, then you have woman, from female to male. You have I'm just trying to female, male. You have man, and then you have woman, from female to male. So it just seems to be repeating all the time, the way they put an add-on to the male to get to the female. When they put an add-on to get from the woman to the man. When they put an add-on to get to the man to the Batman. 1983. And if you really want to look at a different thing in time, I also use another calculation that if we worked on 16 hours, if we worked on time as, if we were at 60, instead of 60 minutes an hour, if we worked on 90 minutes an hour, we would actually only have 16 hours in a day. So if we're working on time of 16 hours in a day, we are going to be taking away 1/3 of time. So if I would divide 2021 divided by 3 times 2 equals 2. No, it's not a good number. I'm trying to look for a number. 2012 divided by 3 times 2 equals. No, I'm trying to look for a good number. 1998 divided by 3 times 2 equals. That's basically the timeline I can see us in. Now we went through another 21 years, so add on 14 years in 2021 plus 14. I can see us at this time right now. Now we're supposed to be adding on another year here, another year here. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because if I had to change the calendar around, electric sun, very possible. And don't forget, I'm tired, and if I don't write it down, I can't be exact, but the numbers work out somewhere. Gregorian, no relevance to 80. 80 is bronze. 80 is 88. It's a 7th gate. 13 is M. It's also the reverse to what is M is N, so it becomes the M, and the reverse of M and N is actually male and female. Because of what the alphabet does, the invert to M is N, it becomes 13 and 14. The center is 13.5. The actual male coming into effect is actually in the 14th year, not in the 13th year. The male comes into the effect in the sun, and the female comes into the effect in the moon. Oh, if way out west, someone's out west. Are you out west? Are you somewhere out west? I'm thinking of going out west sometime. I don't know where. For some reason I like to go southwest, down into I don't know. I prefer going to an island. Maybe we can all meet up there. I believe one of my revelations I had about 15 years ago was that this has to do with 420. Is that they were all building these islands and tying down to the bottom of the ocean, and they lit up the hemp. When they lit up the hemp and burnt the edge to tie the knot, the hemp had some THC in it, and they were all just singing and dancing, having a good time building the islands. In the beginning of building everything, first they built Haiti and Jamaica and all these small islands, right? And then they went on to build the other islands that they connected together, and they called them, let's say, North America, and right, and then they built South America, and they kept sewing all these islands together. But I think they started with these majors of Haiti and Jamaica, etc., because of their names. I'm not going to get into that right now. I don't remember the combinations, what I did in order to get a greater vision of that. I've been in Arizona before many times. I really, really like it. This planet Earth is a game. It's a very scary game if you don't know what's going on. And when you know it, no one wants to be, I want to use the word locked up, incarcerated. When you have something to do, something so great you want to share with the world, imagine if you can't share it. That's the worst thing about incarceration. But if you want it for only yourself and you want to be greedy, well, incarceration is good. You can just think all on your own, keep it yourself, not share. But I think liberation comes with sharing, security comes with sharing, and making everything too easy, giving up all your rights leaves you with giving up all your reds, keeping yourself only for the blue. And the reason I say that is because anytime you say right, you say Republican, repossession. Okay. When you say blue, you say boy. Now, we already gave up something to have boy. Now I'm going to get back. And the reason I'm saying that, because they usually say the right and the left in politics. So, and anyways, the red pill, the blue pill, et cetera, et cetera. Let me see where we are. Greenhouse gas. Okay. Grass. Greenhouse grass in Uranus. Okay. I'm not really sure where that came from. Emergency room. TARS, for the first husband who was evil. Now, it's funny that you say that, and I'd like to know why you say that. And now you're saying Tamars, because when I just watched yesterday the movie, oh my God, what was the name of the movie? Just give me a second. Let me take a search. Interstellar. And it's funny because I saw something on the screen that said interview, right? When I was watching Interstellar, they had these machines they called TARS. Or now, if you want to revert this to stars, but in the word of Saturn is the word star. So right away, again, and Saturn being the sixth planet, reverts to fourth planet, and fourth and sixth connected to Mars, which is 3 times 2, and Mars is 2 times 2 for the 4 number for the fourth planet, and Saturn is 3 times 2. So 3 and 2 again. Ram is coming back. Again, I like I said, I'm tired. I wish I can, go through everything perfectly, but I'm not. Phobos, and also you were talking about, somebody mentioned that bird. I'm not really sure. Phoenician, pyramids, Enochs. How about the Crocs? And when you get the Crocs, you also get to the dial phone. The dial phone in crocodiles is see you later, alligator, that you used to talk on the telephone. And also, when you turn the dial phone, you turn it this way, and inside the dialer is this. And one part is flat. It's like the N. And when it's flat, it stops. What it does is it grabs, it goes around. There's little like buttons sticking out, like 9 of them. And when you turn it, it goes click, 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 click. And then backwards, it sticks out and it stays hard, and it brings it all back down. And all 9 numbers that are there. Crocodile telephone. Purple bringing red and blue together, Republican and Democrat. And you have to have either more red or less red mixed up with it. Yes, you can add a little bit of white. I think there's a background of white. And just to show you a little bit something, what white does in the background is you're going to call this gray. But that's not gray. That was done with a black pencil. When I do this with a black pencil, it looks gray. But if I do this, it looks black. And it's the same pencil. How hard is my stroke? The same thing might come out to the red, or to the red. And then you might have the same thing for the baby blue. And you might have the same thing for the green coming out, depending on how you shade it in. I'm going to show you what this is in a minute. I'm hoping to get to it. I am going to get a glass of water. I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap this up. Hey, buddy. Yeah. 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 Hey, I'm going to warm up some tea. Yeah. 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 Come. 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 Yeah. You want to come up? Come up. You're all excited. Come. 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 Ooh. Oh, she never wants to sit on me. She just, the minute she comes up here, that's all she wants to do. If I walk around with her, she's okay. Lucifer, 333-9659. Spirit 91. Unit, United, the IT system, undo D&E relevant to the sun. For what is 7 with Eve in the gate? Exi, Mexi, Exi, exit. Exi as in EXE, as in who's running the machine right now. Jose, can you see Osaki? Very good. I like that. Good comparison. Lost me there. You're going to have to rewrite that. But, it's hard for me to follow comments that were written 5 minutes ago. Cats in the Crater for Silver Spoon. Absolutely. Oh, my God. I'm going to write that down for tomorrow. I got to write that down for tomorrow. That is, yeah. There's a lot of them, Cats in the Craters. Right away, when you say silver, the 5-in-1 Mars shows up. Spoon. Now, if we look at spoon, we might have to look at, is it the dipper that's a spoon, or is that a pan? Silver is also telling us about green. It's telling us about green, and also AU we have to look at, because now AU is gold. So is it AG for silver? So that's 17Q, the gateway, instead of ape. AU gold is ape. So ape is our prime source of creation, to where our gateway is with silver, and it's AG, 1 and 7. AU equals to a total of 1 and 21. So your blackjack green go, and through the moon. The reason for that is U is 21, 2 and 1 is 3, and A is 1. If I invert it, it becomes 2 and 6, 8. To what is 6, 6. Hold on, let me show you what this is. 2 and 6, 8. The invert of ZA to what is UF. If you follow, here's the U, here's the F. So 6 and 2 is 8. So now we divide the gate at this one over here. And this one's going to show up with 8. And that's going to show up with gold. Gold 38, which is 11 and 22. So I'm dividing the wafers, and that's the hexagon. It becomes the hexagon because it works in periods of 3. Periods of 3 is 84, which is 3 by 28. And the reason for this is 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 will equal to what is 2 and 1, 3, and 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 is equal to what is 4 and 4, 8. And to note that 44 is the division between night and day. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 and it'll create 7 and 8. Again, G and H comes together as 15, which is 1/4 time Mars is 51, 3/17, and this is 4/15, which equals to the 60 seconds on the clock. And like I said, I'm going through this quick. Maybe I shouldn't be continuing on with this video. Vietnam inside the word in English would say the life of man. When you start off with the VI in Vietnam, you are also actually looking at, if you're putting 75, you're talking about electric, but V1 would be Mars. ET would be talking about Earth in the name of man's life. Nam or man, and Nam or name, right? To V in French, which is V meaning life. ET, extraterrestrial, total of 25, 25 total can say Jack. The invert of E is V. The invert of T is G. So now you have VG coming together, which is 4 and 7. So you're going to get to what is Jesus, time, the cycle of angels. I'm just going over this really quick. 63 is 7 and 7. JFK, well, that's there's a separation in between J and F, where ABC is F, and then D would create your J, which is half of what is K. But K is very complicated because sometimes I'm just looking at it and I don't have a complete answer, so I'm building with what I have. JFK is actually QVP. But the average of what is J, although it's a polarity, there's still an average. And usually the average to everything is matter and energy, because it doesn't matter what letters you're going to take in the alphabet. Let's say I take the letter I. Well, the reverse of the letter I is R, and the halfway point is between M and N. I like to look at that as the moon. 2021 is also the year 5781 or 1927, if you want to look at it that way. Zion, Israel. Let me look at it. 5781, which is 1927, equaling to 46 and 08. So 46 or 64 is Zion, Israel, 0. I got that in the year 5781 because I'm going to divide it by 3. Now, if I divide it by 4, and like I said at the beginning, I wanted to talk about multiplying and dividing by 3 and 4 and the separation of this cube. Earlier on, I mentioned that if you're following, that 1 and 6, although the center is 3.5, 2.5 is the reality, Earth. Why? Because 2.5 plus 1 is 3.5, and 2.5 minus 6 is 3.5. Just like when you look at number 2 is Mars. Mars comes together in 5 and 2, noted to be Earth. But what happens with 1 and 6, just let me get back to it, is 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is 7 and 6. So it's culminating to 7 and 6 to the spirit of 76, Mars and Earth. To where 2 and 5, it's 1.5 minus 5 is 3.5, and 1.5 plus 2 is 3.5, getting back to the heart of the cube. But that's only in base formation, because in order to see it a little bit deeper, we have to look at this. Now, it was mentioned to me, if you saw my short video on that big cube, somebody said to me, well, that's the way the cube is done, with all 7s on each side. This is what a gentleman told me when I was at the Beau's Bar, or brasserie, or whatever you want to call it. Or actually, it was a brewery. Sorry, it wasn't that. And he says, how do you know it's in that order? And this gentleman is 100% right, because what you have to do in order to find full formation is you have to put 1 here and 2 here. Then you have to put 1 here and 3 here, and 1 here and 4 here, and 1 here and 5 here. And 1 and 6 are already here. Here you have to put 4 here and 1 here, and 4 here and 2 here, and 4 here and 5 here, and 4 here and 6 here. To this whole cube, we have to understand all the areas of the cube. Heir apparent, 1332. I'm going to have to understand that. But in this one, I see the moon, Mars, and man coming together. Prehistorical, which is actually all our history has already been written, but we haven't acted it out yet. Leap year, right? Venus. There's 3 suns. There's the Venus sun, There's the Uranus sun and there's the Saturn sun. Saturn is separated into the star rats, the islands of the sun. Islands of the sun, very interesting. Ishtar, yes, the born to Abraham. Is that what it was? Hemp Wars 420 is 80, absolutely. Sowing Hope, purple, the purple buys, if it buys us a day, and we will see. And then horse racing, the purple horse, I think, is the 9, and as well in the thoroughbreds, it's a 10. Space guitars, unicorns, rams, phoenix. Again, Tamar. So when you're Tamar, ram, and it's at Mars, Tamari. So the Tamari sauce at Mars, ram. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to go to sleep. Oh, hold on. An atomic unit is 8. And I have to understand that more. Let me just write that down. I'm not sure. What is that? Atomic. I heard that before. But atomic, I know, is broken up into slices. Why is atomic broken up into slices like a pizza? Because when I was young, they used to have atomic pizza. But at the end of the word, it says mic. And at the beginning of the word, it's AT. So I got AT at omic. So if I go to omic, now it's going to talk about speaking. It's also going to talk about partly. When you put the letters BIMIME, they're always talking about a piece and a part of something. Because of the word middle, because of the word medium, because of the word now mental. It's a state being between here and there, right? So, and Mars and Earth, again, back to the same thing. Now, don't forget, I'm not the last word, and everything I say is not finite, other than the actuality that you can calculate yourself will be the finite reality. When you come 50-50 is actually not fair. In fact, 50-50 is one of the most unfair things and not the average in life. Because what is 100%. What could be might be, okay, can be 50%. What is shared with one is given to the other. So it's 100% of giving and taking at the time. But when you're doing it to each other, you're both 100%. I don't know if I can go on. There's so much information out there. Let me go get my tea. I'm going to come back, and I need some energy. Oh, you know what's cute? Whoa, I dropped it on the floor. That's what's cute. See the jack on top of his hat? See this over here for the castle? Let me go get my tea, come back. Okay, where are we? You know, when you're not scared, there's so much you can do. When you mention gymnastics, Mick Jagger charaded blades, charades, Hartley, fell to pieces, fell down, husha, husha, we all fall down. Very good. Atomic bomb made of, okay. You know, can you write the word comb? C-O-M-B. But when you write bomb, B-O-M-B, you go bomb. The other one, you go comb, calm, comb, home. What, like I find, I thank you very much, Tammy. Appreciate it. I need to be able to finish. One is the opposite, usually with two P's, but you can use it with one P, but then you'd be opposing, right? And one is usually the center of something. If it's not, it's a division of something. It's either the center of something or the division of something. So one is like 1 and 0 at the same time, depending on whether you're going east-west or north-south. Now, this is very interesting. The other is always going to win. You're absolutely correct. We won't end the game until there's a winner. So we're going to play the 9 innings of baseball and then go into something that's extra. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this. Write this down. Apparently, in the year 2025, there was a song written, and there's something out there. They call it Nakanese. It's I think a Japanese soy, fermented soy. Remember that? And it's a good thing to do a flush in your body. It's supposed to be good for your blood, right? Look it up, see what it's good for. If you like it, then do what you want with it. I'm just telling you right now, Nakanese, important for the entire planet to know about this, whether they take and eat the food or they don't eat the food. My purpose is to share what I see, what I rationalize, what I break down. Apparently in 2025, remember these words, okay? If you see it, know that, believe what you want, whether it's real or not real. S-E. Now I'm going to tell you it in pieces and parts, right? So I might say S-E, but I'm going to tell you it in pieces and parts. So the next part is going to be E-R-S. So that's what I'm going to tell it to you in pieces and parts. S-E, and then pieces and parts, E-R-S. Put that together in about a year. I figure by the end of this year, you're going to start to hear about it. And it's going to be something that's going to hurt the little ones, right? Little ones. You can't say big ones. Ones like, 18 and under, something like that. That's the news in the grapevine for the game, of course, right? PP pipes. Well, the opposite of PP is caca. Pipes. Usually, when they talk about pipes, they also talk about wind pipes or bagpipes. They're talking about your lungs. The pole and the ring have both the same numeric value of 48. Yeah, coma. But I the only reason I didn't go to in the word. Are you relating this to what is bomb or comb? But it's cool because we reverted. You changed the A for a B, so that we can do. We can put the A for B. B would be on the outside comb. A would be on the inside for coma. The hair that was stolen and sold to Venus. So that works out. How do you spell it? Spell L. Spiel is talking. Nakanese, yes. Yes, I think that's what it is. Nakanese, absolutely. This has got to be on everybody's. This word cannot be forgotten. And write down that other word, please. S-E and capitals and in small if you want. I'm tired. I hope I'm not over. So we're going to end the video right now. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Far Out. West.art. Thank you. Tammy. Thank you for thee of who I do not know as of yet. If you have any questions, if you think there's a possibility that I might say something about it, what do you see, Doc, inside Nakanese? Japanese? Is that what I see? Well, Nakanese is from Japan, apparently. So Nakanese, Japanese. And knickknacks. You can have a knickknack, paddywhack, give your dog a bone. Is that where it is? I also see Indian Kanasataki in there. I also see nakedness. So you're bringing it down to the nakedness. And the two elements, the two of the major elements, very important elements for our animals, are the two primary elements where mono has destroyed. Does anybody know Santo? Anyways, mono means one, right? And then Santo, not Santa Claus or Santos, So by destroying the corn and destroying the soya in this game that we play, they have destroyed the major elements that our pigs, our chickens, and our cows eat, and they have been destroyed a long time ago and double destroyed after the year 2000. There's another S. I think it's S-E-E and then E-R-S. It's really one. Yeah. It started with in the meat industry. It's big time in the meat. It's also in the vegetables, but it double destroyed it because what happens, what I believe, and don't forget it's not true, and this is we're creating and reading into the game that you see the plants when you put it on the plant and then you ruin the seed to the plant, and then all of a sudden, boom, vitamin deficiency. Vitamin deficiency, dementia. And then every time you take something that's been heated or worked in the laboratory, and when I say laboratory, I'm talking about unbalanced to what is balance. In French, when you say balance, okay, it's Libra, which is the free arm. And when you say balance, it's a French word for Libra. It's just the opposite zodiac sign. So the balance, the ball, creating the unbalance in the laboratory in science. Science. Balance. Balance equaling to what is Libra. Balance is also a scale or a weight. Well, how come I know that? I don't know if I can understand that right now. I see it. I sort of understand it, but I don't. Oh, blanchi. Okay, you know what it means to blanchi. You're blotchy, blanca, right? Blanchi. When you're eating, when you eat, you blanchi your French fries. You pre-cook them partially. Anyways, that's it. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for being here. I gotta go. I can't do it, but let's say goodnight. Let's see if we can say goodnight to the little girl here and see if she wants to say anything. Do you want to say something? Did I wake you up? Did I wake you? Let me pat your belly. Let me pat your belly. Ooh, patting your belly. Woo, you like that? You like that? You don't like that, do you? Do you like that? Yeah? You like that? No, you don't like that. You're running away. Are you running away? You're running away. You hate that. Oh, my leg's going up. Oh, no. No. You don't like anything. Oh, and you know what they like? They like when you play with their ear. Like that? Hey, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yeah? You're a good girl. You like that? Every time I pat her, you want to lick me? Every time I pat her like that, she wants to take a bath. You like that? Hey? You like that, eh? Oi, oi, oi. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can remove that thing. I don't like that corner. I'm losing part of my screen. The banner, the band. Let me see where that is. I'm going to take that away. I also had this one here. I don't know if you know it, right? Then there was the Monopoly car, the car in Monopoly. This is roulette. This is the apartment. I have no idea. I can't remember. Oh, yes. This is when 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, okay, are slanted to the Queen's way. When the Queen takes over, the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 now all look like diamonds. Okay. Then there's this. I think it was Ernie and Bert. But we're going to get rid of that. And let me look at that last comment. And cat, hat, in French, chapeau, in Spanish, arigato, in a sombrero. Thank you for watching this video. Peace. Good night.